We can't wait. All right, guys, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast. Hold up, George is here. Let me add him in. Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast. What's up? What's up? Episode 94, and we're your home personal development tips, sports news, music, and more. 6 away from the big 100 episode. Guys, the topic of tonight's conversation, if you saw the promo, what it is ultimately going to be is the controversial yet infamous topic of air each other's dirty laundry out in relationships. This is something that goes on quite a bit. I've seen it firsthand, and being younger and dumb in stupid relationships, I've done it as well. I feel like most people have done it. It's kind of
probably have done it at some point. Yep.
It leads to emotional turmoil in the long term. But we're gonna dive into
emotional
that
damage.
Yeah. So this is something that isn't talked about a little bit throughout like the internet, but it's not talked about a lot, to be quite honest. I feel like most people don't cover it. So we're gonna hop into that tonight, guys. We're gonna put the intro up in a minute. But always, as always, we're your host for the evening. I'm Steve Ushler. Joined alongside me on the other end is my co-host and friend, George Menchai. George,
yo, guys.
What's up, bro?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? But without further ado, we'll play the intro. We'll get to the other stuff. Guys, I know it's been a little late. I just want to make a little disclaimer before we go live. Thank you guys for all the support of the podcast, but also you guys might have like an hour after this episode is over if you still want to try to win some merch for the podcast giveaway. I know we said we were going to release it on Sunday, but it's just been so, which is actually giving you guys some extra time here to kind of enter if you'd like to. So, guys, if you just want to enter, go to the Instagram page and follow the instructions. All you got to do is give us a follow, like the post of the giveaway, and tag 2 people, and you get to win some cool merchandising gear. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, smash the like button. YouTube, smash the like button. On YouTube, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell because we release episodes every single week. You don't want to miss it. Number 2, if you see something you like in the podcast or just want to chime in, comment down below. We always appreciate your feedback. You guys just sit back, relax, and enjoy the podcast. 2022, sure and be you. I'm going to play the intro, and guys, we will see you
outside.
All right, welcome back to anybody who just joined in while the intro was playing. As we said, the topic of tonight's discussion is the controversial yet infamous topic of airing each other's dirty laundry out.
Dirty laundry. Yep.
Yeah, so it's going to be a controversial topic, not covered enough, but it unfortunately happens in a lot of relationships. What it ultimately leads to is feelings of betrayal, emotional turmoil, some tough stuff. But George, since this was your topic tonight, this was kind of your idea, I'm gonna let you kind of take the reins to kind of start this one, man, if you are ready. So, what are your experiences from people you've seen, whether it be friends, family, or your personal experiences with the causes, and kind of explain what is airing, for layman's terms, what is airing somebody's dirty laundry out inside of a relationship? What is it? And then
well, I mean, the term itself can mean a couple of things, but basically to to show the world or show people out there or to showcase, especially in the day and age of everybody to show text messages, screenshots, evidence, and all that, because there's so much more disposal at your hands. You know what I mean? To show, it's basically to show off, something that's probably between you and a person, whether it's it was a relationship, it was just 2 parties, do some business together, just a good friendship, a platonic relationship between a man and a woman, or a woman and a man, whatever. But in this terms, in this kind of case, in this episode, like I said on the preview, and some of the promo, we'll be talking about some, why kind of it happens a little, and some of the cases that we know, based on our experiences. I already made a disclaimer, as did you. They were not experts, authors, certified, professionals in this field, which is more somewhat experienced a little bit. And we just, we know a few things, and we talk about our perspective, what we've been through, what we saw. And it's okay to also bring examples from movies, because it's a movie, but, it could be based on something, so that's fine. I made the disclaimer earlier. You made it too, Steve, so we're good on that. We don't need to be sued or like that, or, no kind of weird stuff, going on. No bullshit. They say no monkey business. More like the monkey, the monkey pox,
Monkey pox.
That's what I keep talking about. But anyway,
COVID
I'll see
pox.
some videos and shit, man. Monkey videos, but it's a different story though. But no, we'll be talking about this. And to air the dirty laundry just means to to expose something that probably doesn't necessarily need to be done. And some things are better talked about in private, whether it's a family thing. Also, families can sometimes air the dirty laundry of another family member or something like that. So that's another thing that we could get into, and that happens, that occurs. But yeah, for the most part, it's just in relationships, partnerships, in friends, friendships and all that, to kind of like talk about some probably stuff that the person might not want. That's one thing. And to kiss and tell, well, we'll get to that too. But I mean, excuse me, that's a pretty basic one too to explain. Basically, growing up, when we would hear the word kiss and tell, means that when whether it's man or woman, man or man or whatever, girl and girl, it's 21st century, anything can happen these days. Basically, if you're having relations with them, but then you talk about it when you agree not to talk about it, and you kind of like you're in a relationship with a woman, you sleep together. Now you're going out there and talking on podcasts, on live streams, or you're telling everybody. Now I guess you tell one person that you might keep a secret. It's one thing. I'm sure everybody has a little confidant. I mean, could be wrong, but that's just how it is usually. But when you're having this kind of situation where you the person have this agreement, you talk about it. That's you're stitching the situation. Now you're kissing it down. You're telling everybody when you told this girl, or maybe the girl told this guy now, and then they're kind of spreading up, not rumors because they might not want nobody to know, and that's the whole thing. They try to keep a secret, but one person broke their bond, so that's what that kind of is in that sense. But kissing and telling, it can happen from anybody's perspective. It can happen, anywhere. So, and go ahead, chime in a little bit on some of the stick with the dirty laundry first. Then we'll get to kiss and tell. We'll kind of like set it up that way, so we don't.
Yeah, so on a basic level, I think what airing somebody's dirty laundry means making your problems in a relationship known and bringing in third parties to the outside.
Exactly.
Could be friends.
Or just put it out there.
Yeah. Hold up. So to like a party, which could be your friends, your family, or your work colleagues. It could be anybody. But the ultimate thing, from my experience, seeing others do it, and then being in that position myself when I was younger. Ultimately, all it realistically does is it causes emotional turmoil and a lot of times feelings of betrayal, especially if you're not talking about these things with your significant other. A lot of times, the things that people like to air are things that were confidential between them and their partner, and things that only they should be talking about.
Things, right? Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's more so just things that they told them in common. And they go to other people, and the dumb thing about it is especially if y'all have a social circle, who you got friends on both sides, or friends
friends in common, right, yeah.
It's always going to get back to you. You know what I mean? It's always going to get back to it's going to get back to that person, and then it's going to leave them feeling betrayed, especially if it was something in confidence. Whereas if you're in a relationship and you're not talking to your partner about them, you should be sitting down and addressing them with that person. I think that's fairly obvious, but I think a lot of this comes from pride and ego. A lot of times, like to say like there's problems in a relationship, and then we always think that we're not at fault. So we'd rather try to bash person on that for their end of the problems, and it comes from an ego thing, a pride thing. And we always like to try to make ourselves look like the good person. In reality, we kind of make ourselves look dumb by doing it, because especially if you really
bashing is not good.
Especially if you really do truly love that person, what it could ultimately lead to is the end of that relationship. If the other person finds out trust, you break their bond. And unfortunately, communication and trust and honesty. So trust/honesty and communication are two of the biggest things inside of a relationship. And when you break that bond, it can be sometimes tough to repair. Not everybody is as forgiving as other people, so you always have to remember that. Like, it's tough to deal with, because you never know if you can trust telling your partner, or essentially what you're supposed to be your best friend, anything anymore, because you don't know if they're going to go to somebody else with it. And once that bond is broken, it becomes tough to repair.
It takes a while. Yeah. Once you break the trust and the bond. Yeah, I agree. I mean, trust cannot be broken, bro. Once you break that, a lot happens. Because the thing is, that bond, they're kind of like a sacred bond, or just a connection, or a chemistry, or like you said, a friendship, and again, that the little alliance, the little bond you have. It could be for a friend, guy or female friend or whatever the case may be. But like in that situation, bro, when that happens, that person can never really look at you the same though. If you do something like like that to an extent, especially something messed up, something what they call perversive or really spiteful, really like petty or childish. And people do it sometimes. They're just trying to show everybody else. I mean, okay, I get it. Maybe you bring one somebody that you trust, but you also sometimes you can't do that, or let the person not give you too much, that's the person you like to be with, or the person that you're in a situation with, because you might care about them and you might not, you might want to, you might want to hear nobody else talk about them, but also sometimes you don't want to keep it inside, so people talk about it, and sometimes they feel fed up. But we're talking more or less like when just like even for example after a breakup, there's no reason to even do that, and somebody does it, whether a guy or a girl. Guys do that stuff too in the past, I mean they've been very bitter, they can't seem to let things go. Women go. I mean, we saw a lot. I was watching, on a Star thing, the Star Report, or I think it's called Live and Direct. He's talking about the Irv Gotti interview and Ja Rule interview with Ashanti. So he's talking about that. I was like, damn, they're right. Everybody keeps saying Irv Gotti's not through it. He did not go, he kind of aired a lot of stuff out, and he doesn't feel like he's been over it. Like he's not over it, like I always say. But it's been 20 years, so it's like you have to think, like, things, change, and feelings don't always change. Some people always kind of hold on those feelings.
100%. I would say, when it comes to
shit out of here.
I would say ultimately, what it ultimately signifies is a lack of emotional it's a lack of emotional maturity. I think that's what the biggest things that kind of signifies. A lot of times that's actually a good point that you bring up breakups too. I mean, it can happen after breakups, of course, because people always have their ego and their pride hurt a lot of times. No matter if you were the dumper or the dumpy. Yeah, no matter if you were the dumpy or the dumper, a lot of times, no matter what, you're still gonna have feelings depending on how long the relationship was. And a lot of times it comes from true. A lot of times it comes from an ego spot. We want to bash that other person. But ultimately it's coming from a spot where we're hurt and our ego and our pride has been hurt. And what it ultimately signifies is exactly that, emotional immaturity, because not able to deal with like one's emotions, you're lashing out, you're not really taking the time. It's understandable, so I guess, somewhat when it comes to breakups at the beginning, but still, just think of how you look yourself when you're doing that to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you have to kind of think. It does not make you look like a good person. It kind of makes you look very, very immature when you go to a petty level like that. But I mean, hey, in breakups, anything can happen. So I don't want to kind of make a general, because breakups are different. There could be amicable breakups. There could be cheating involved. And then that's a whole nother
other trust issues, right? It could be unhappiness, Yeah.
So the level of petty and the level of where you're going to bash somebody after a breakup, that could go down. You can go down a whole rabbit hole with that realistically. But obviously, if like cheating was involved, it's a little different. You're going to be pretty angry and resentful, especially if you really love that person. It's going to be challenging, right? We're actually going to have an episode. It's going to be our next After Hours one. I think we want to talk about like cheating inside of a relationship. What kind of pushes people's thoughts? That's going to be a late night one, because that's going to be
a big one.
Controversial. But we'll never say if cheating is ever justified, which I don't think anybody's really going to agree.
I don't think I could agree with that one. Some people you'd be surprised. Some people could actually agree with them and be like, yeah, to them it is, because they'll say like it was cheating after the relationship was gone, or there was nothing there, or the person was doing the same thing. There's always an explanation, but is there a really good reason for it, or a real excuse? Most of the time, no. Maybe never. I mean, but I mean, well, I guess you can never say never. No, so yeah, maybe even some cheating situations. You gotta watch a movie. The movie with the Baron and the Baroness. The guy trying to get his wife killed. Guess what happened? The mob forced to kill him and his lover, but he kidnapped his wife and he left her, in the mountains or whatever, until the cops saved her. And it's actually a movie. It's a movie. It's a real movie. It's so that's it's different. I mean, the mob's enforcer. He had a name. His name was T. His name was T. He killed the Baron and the mistress, I guess, or whatever you call it, and then he kidnapped his wife. They have a son together, so how it is. Like, when there's parties involving cheating, shit happens. Like kids involved, especially the kids that are older, especially if it's like, again, a baron or baroness, they're more like upscale, bro. They're like, they got money. In that movie, they had a villa in Capri. I mean, come on now, it doesn't get better than that. Who doesn't want a villa in the middle of the ocean, or in the middle of the sea in the Mediterranean?
Exactly. I want to say, I'll address some of the comments here. So Keisha said the lack of trust is what breaks a relationship. The most important quality.
I can agree with that too.
Out of a relationship.
Yep, we could definitely agree with that one. Yep.
Trust and honesty are very important communications. So Desiree, she said, in a relationship, if you can't go to your partner, the issue, but someone else, that's a problem. Yeah, it kind of signifies a bigger issue there. It means you guys don't have the emotional bond and the capacity to talk to one another. It's very important, obviously, and it's a big issue. It signifies something bigger for sure. Because your partner should be your best friend. So I mean, you should be able to go to them with anything.
There's a difference between venting and hearing out someone's dirty intrusion.
I think that one's Keisha as well. I just want to make sure.
And that's when people go wrong.
I just want to make sure.
That's cool. Yeah, some good comments, guys. I mean, and girls,
Yeah, that one's
actually some very good points.
There's a big difference in the venting area. I do agree, but yeah. So airing out dirty laundry means you're revealing problems and secrets inside of a relationship.
You're revealing personal information. Yeah.
Venting is maybe it depends. So venting is very general. So it really depends on what you're venting about. Yeah, because you can vent someone's dirty laundry. So it really on what you're venting about and how the level is.
Venting and ranting are different.
And I think ranting are different. And I think there's a big difference between having spoken to your partner about things and then speaking to people in confidence, like your partner's not, and you kind of know what you're saying to somebody. So if it's something that's very touchy and you're revealing that to somebody else, your partner's probably not going to be happy. Yeah, it depends. If it's something general, but you've talked to your partner about it, okay, a little bit different. But there's a fine line, I think. You know who your partner, and you know how they're gonna, you know what I mean. You know how they're gonna react. So there's a fine line. There's a fine line, but you could definitely vent somebody's dirty laundry too. So it's depends. It depends. But I kind of agree. You know what I mean?
I can agree.
Agreeable. But yeah, being honest at myself when I was younger, I mean, I've done it. I've I've done it
unintentionally. We all
when I was 19,
we've seen somebody do it. Right?
When I was 19, I was in a relationship, and honestly, it was a little bit toxic. So realistic, guys. So to be honest, it was kind of an ego and pride thing for me. I was I have no kind of you're just immature at the time, and you're you have no responsibility and it's the other person, and it makes you feel good. It's entertaining to gossip no matter about what in life, and unfortunately you really don't think was your person of how you're really making that other person feel. And when it gets back to them, I regret it. Honestly, she did it too. It doesn't make it better. We both did it. We were both very immature.
No, we both did it. It's an immature thing to do. Correct. Yeah.
And she would talk to her friends. I would talk to my friends about things, and we air each other out. And the funny thing is our friends knew each other, and eventually it all got back to both of us. And yeah,
as you would, of course.
It never makes you feel good being on the other side. So I'm it doesn't. It's just I think most people have been there. Only some people never address this issue. They could be all the way into their 40s, 50s. They can keep going and just keep getting into unfulfilling relationships because of the fact that they've never addressed these things. It's a pride and ego thing to me. So you really need to check your ego at the door. You need to keep your pride at the door. And relationships are only a mistake, like previous relationships, if you don't learn something from it, in my opinion. If you don't learn something from it. So every relationship you have with somebody, you should learn something from it.
Yeah, it's not a mistake per se, bro. You're right.
I feel there's always lessons you can learn from something. And
take something away, right?
I mean, am I right or wrong? I mean, you know what I mean?
I would agree. I mean, I'm seeing some of the there's some of the older comments, but yeah, I would agree, bro. If it was a mistake, but even if I feel like if you learn nothing from it, definitely. If you learn something from it and you feel like it made you a little better in some ways, and you get some decent memories, it's not a mistake. Now, if you do the same thing, then you kind of repeat a mistake. Now you're kind of insane. You're making the same mistake and you did it twice or 3 times. Shit. You can't. How many times can you get fooled? Then you're fooling yourself. You know what I mean? You keep making the same mistakes. Some guys do it, go to the wrong partner. Some girls go to the same guy all the time, and we've seen it over and over. And people keep dirtying their name or airing out laundry. I've been in situations too. Where somebody try start dirty my name or throw dirty laundry and all that, and throw shots at me. And again, I engaged in some BS. I was a lot younger. I mean, it's been this is over a decade ago. So it's it's like when we go through the process, we learn, and it just kind of shows you that what. People will do that and just stay away. Just stay away from those kind of people because they will try to tarnish your reputation, your name, your legacy, what you do. They try to do your job and say you did something wrong. They'll lie. It's a lot of things, bro. I mean, and we're talking about it's a very broad field. By the way, we're not going to have. I definitely talk too much. I actually got to go in a little bit, but we definitely have spoken about it in the past too. there's the big difference between doing a little bit of this, like say mention a few things and ranting a little to your friend or on Facebook or social media, but whenever we put in a name of a person, like a subliminal, and
That's
then really
another
trying
one.
to destroy their reputation and their name and go out there on a tirade and all these other, man.
That's another
it gets
one.
messy and complicated.
That's another one. Social media. People bring their problems to social media. I see it to this day. It's crazy to think people put their freaking problems on social media, and you get other people involved, and now it becomes an even bigger problem. You got thousands of people on your social media seeing this, even if they're not getting involved. Guess what they're doing? They're talking relationship. They're talking. Let's be realistic. When you see someone's relationship and you see two people airing out their dirty laundry on social media, what do you think of? Like, what do you think? Like, you see, like, oh, they're crazy. Like, look at this relationship, and people like kind of want to get their popcorn out. It's fucking entertainment. And I mean, let's be realistic. See, but like, let's believe, but people always like to see other people doing worse. This happens all the freaking time.
Yeah, people
always want to see other people doing worse.
We entertain the bullshit, bro. We entertain the fuckery. Like people, I don't want to see all that shit. I mean, I watch it sometimes to see who's right or wrong, but I rather not though. But yeah, people do that. Yep.
People always want to be like, oh shit, look at their relationship. Oh, I thought they were happy. Ha ha ha. Like people airing out their problems.
Oh yeah.
The point is, you should never air your relationship business out on social media. I would think that that's fairly obvious. However, you should never. So like, let's say when you do it on social media, it becomes a whole other thing. So the girl's dirty laundry is out. She airs something out about her boyfriend. Guess what? You got 2,500 dudes in her fucking DMs. Oh, baby, I would never treat you like that. It becomes really freaking messy when shit goes on social media. Like now things are getting like you got all these other people inside your freaking relationship that didn't need to be there. And to be honest, like at my age was bringing that to social media and I'm in a relationship with them, I would have to like be like, I'm out, because like you cannot bring other people into your relationship on social media. That just kind of goes to shitty level. I think people have done it when they're young. When you're younger, but you learn from these things.
Some people don't do social media. Yeah, when you're younger, you're doing it like via text message on a note. You write somebody a letter. You would probably just stab in your face. You try to make up, but you could do it. People are spreading out rumors online even back in the day, like in the late 90s, 2000s, because you had the AOL Messenger, the forums, the posts, and all that, all the different forums, which are still obviously going on now. I mean, now more than ever because of blogging, but we evolved to the next stage. I mean, we're in the forums to the 11th, 12th power. Like, we're talking about 98, maybe before that. I mean, that was the era of like the underground forums and all that. But people were talking shit back then, People make rumors about a girl and trying to get somebody to like commit suicide or to fuck them over. Cyberbullying was going on. Another form of airing dirty laundry or trying to fuck with somebody's, health, for, lack of better terms, you know what I mean? But like, for in another way, basically, like to mess with their mind, It was a lady that was doing that to some girl, younger girl, because she wanted her daughter to win a competition or something like that. There was definitely a story or two. We did some in school, in college about that. But there's many ways that people want to attack you or dirty your name or like you just said, air dirty laundry. But the whole term, and let's be clear here, specific guys, when we say to air dirty laundry, usually it could be like it's different. Somebody does the homework and like does a little digging around, scooping around. Like I say, they put their long nose around, to scoop around for things, snooze around. But when we're talking about airing dirty laundry, that's more like if they kind of have some kind of relationship or relation or any kind of connection. Like, it could be you and another dude that you guys don't have much in common, but there's something like you guys do some kind of business. Maybe you have a future friend, maybe, work for the same place, same cause, or, have some kind of like, affiliation. It could be with, a girl or somebody, and then they get to know you a little, and it could also be a good friend in the bond. And they, when shit goes left, they air the dirty laundry. And I'm not gonna say names. Somebody did it. Somebody that me and my cousin know actually well. It's this girl. These two girls are really cool with each other, but now they're not. And the one girl made some stuff up, and I think she made an IG talking crap. Like
this is a good point.
A different place.
Yeah, 100%.
So this is a fake IG, of course. Yeah, of course.
So this is another thing here, and this is actually a really good point. So Desiree, she said, also airing out somebody's dirty laundry, especially inside of a relationship, is messy, especially to friends. You could forgive and forget, but sometimes family and friends don't. This is a very powerful, actually, statement right there, because you can literally not even be with that person anymore, but your family and friends will never forget that person, and sometimes they bring that shit up, and it's like, it's in the past. Once family and friends really won't sometimes, because it comes from a spot of they have your back. If that person becomes challenging for them to forgive it, even if you do. So obviously, you can always remember what someone did to you, but to forgive is powerful because you don't carry the burden of you know what I mean, letting them emotionally affect you anymore. It kind of just, you kind of with a forgiveness is just, you're taking a high road to be like, I forgive, but I'll never forget what you did to me. See ya.
Yeah,
But that's
I
very
want to forgive you.
family
I
and
forget you.
yeah. Powerful.
So you're saying that I mean, what Desi was saying that somebody, if somebody does it, like a family member, somebody really close to you, we're like, you guys are like family. It's like you can forgive them, but you'll forget. I want to forgive you, but also want to forget you. It's like, I forgive what you did, but I'm not going to be cool with you no more. Something changed. Where some people can be cool with you again if it's something really bad, but they want to forget that. Honestly, we dirty somebody's name like that and bring dirty laundry like that, it's very hard to have any kind of relationship, even if you never forget it. Because some people can be like this: oh, you did me dirty, I'll forgive you, but I won't forget. We can still be cool and continue to to do business, to be friends, maybe a little distance now.
Yeah.
But some people can't even do that. They're like, you know what? I could do that, but I never forget it, and I always remember it. And some people can't really ever see the person the same, so they'll forget that person too. They'll forgive them and be okay. I'll accept your apology, whatever. I forgive you for what you did, but I'm not gonna, forget it. And at this point, I'm just, I don't even want to see anymore. I won't forget you. They even had on one of those TV shows, something was going on. Like the girl told her, I forgive you, but I also don't forget you. I was like, damn. And they're supposed to be like really good friends or something like that. So relations and any kind of relationship can really end in any kind of way, whether it's a friend relationship or friendships, and all that. I mean, things that put over money, over honor, over respect, over disrespect, over something that they didn't like, over shit, over different views. I mean, people look at you different because you have different views on them, or strong different views. They're like, no, because people are strong about their views too. Like I have views different than others, but as long as it's nothing that's it doesn't encroach on my morals and all that stuff that's really out the meter. Like somebody says support something I'm completely against that I really don't like at all, then I have no reason not to be friends with somebody if they have a little different views than mine. As long as we have something in common and we connect, we have a good understanding, we're cool, But I mean, it gets complicated. It's all human behavior. But that's what I'm saying. We're not really experts in this. We just know we've seen a lot of things and we've seen a lot of examples. And based on what we've seen, what we know, what we read, movies, because movies teach you a lot about life too, People that we saw are other, family members of ours, I know a lot of people that lost friends or relationships, bro, and, sometimes they slightly, dirty the name a little and put dirty laundry out there, so.
Yeah, man, it gets messy, dude. It gets messy. It's
it gets very a conflict of interest because at the end of the day, bro, no one's it's a form of hurting somebody, like risk harming them. You can fuck up somebody's credibility, their life, their occupation, their career, their family thing, their well-being. I mean, but that's the thing. People always want to throw in an age where everybody wants to dirty somebody's name down and airing out dirty laundry is becoming more and more in effect, and we see a lot more now because of social media and all other stuff, the whole nine. So I mean, it's just good to be respectful, and I've never been a fan of dirty somebody's name or laundry and putting out there like oh well, he said this. Here's a text message to the world. Yes, people do it on groups. We talked about the the alpha male group. People be like, oh, he said this. What do I respond? You've been a weirdo. People gonna clown in the comments. They're gonna call you a dumbass, a weirdo.
Exactly. Yo, thank you. This is a good point too. So this kind of goes even on the side of it, not just family and friends. Desiree, she said, for example, if you end up back in a relationship with that person after you said the things that they did to you, you end up looking like the idiot. You end up stupid. So it's
stupid.
like,
yeah, you look like an idiot. Yeah, you do. Facts.
Literally, like it's you end up It's so that's the problem. Like, don't be careful what you say to other people because people are not going to forget. We tend to especially if we really love that person, tend to turn a blind eye when things are good. But the people you told are not going to forget. You can rest assured that they will not forget. That's a great point. I got to play something for that. You're just going to end up looking. Hold up. Stupid. It took a minute for that to load. That was a long ass delay.
Or you get that was a delay. It's like the donkey then like you're a jackass, you're a donkey, jackass. They make this they just clown you around. But yeah, you're stupid. Like the thing is, that's the whole thing, man. I mean, you gotta sometimes walk away from relationships. You gotta, try. And if you keep it as cool as you can and in Pacific, I mean, sometimes the person's that fucked up, that petty, but a lot of times they just look for reasons to do it. Like I said, I had exes, I try to play around like that a little, and I just to just kind of fall back and be like, you know what, I'm not. It's just not my world. That engaging in trash talk through messages and making accounts and fake accounts and all this other shit. People do that all the time to tarnish somebody's name, to laugh, to trying to humiliate you in public or whatever, to embarrass you or whatever, make you look stupid. Ratashi 6'9". So but yeah, man, and that's the thing. And also the next topic, because like I said, I got a few minutes. You can probably stay a little longer. I gotta get going in a few minutes, work duties. But to add on to we're gonna talk in a few, the whole kiss and telling, you mentioned it again. the thing is that is a form of like basically it's a form of airing dirty laundry if you think about it. To kiss and tell, like you say, it's like you it's not the same thing exactly, but it's kind of similar because you're telling somebody or you're letting other people know that.
What do most people kissing? What do most people? Yeah, I was gonna say, what do most people kiss and tell about? They talk intimacy. Let's be realistic. Like that's usually what it is. That's what they mean by.
Well, that's what it is. Kiss and tell, because kiss and tell about business, but literally by intimacy. I mean, whether whichever way you go or you roll whatever you like. I mean, it's an intimacy thing, and what happens is that you're the person, the partner with. You don't want to explain or it's like a private relationship. Put it that way. It's kind of use that word a little bit, although it doesn't have to be. But it's like because anybody can kiss and tell. You can just talk to a girl, but I want to stand and be like, don't tell nobody. You tell everybody next day, But why would you want to attract it to yourself and have too much, to brag about, to be braggadocious and be like, oh well, this and that. Yeah. Somebody said, I'm not sure who Facebook user. You can tell me later who it is, but invasion of privacy, maybe with the little emoji like this, the girl emoji saying, okay, what can I say? So I don't know what to say, but yeah, no, it's a good point. Whoever wrote that comment, that's a good point. I mean, invasion of privacy. Again, getting your business out there. If you and that person, slept with each other. Oh, okay. If you and that person slept with each other, there should be our business, and it doesn't have to be that open to the world. Again, right now, not to keep references this, but not Vlad, what's it called? The Nori podcast, right? Jink Champs, right? With DJ FN. Yeah. When they had Irv Gotti and Jar Wooner, and Irv Gotti was really airing a lot of dirty laundry, and he was just kind of like out of business with Ashanti. He said like how he kind of came across a little like he hasn't gotten over it, like a little obsessed and kind of weird, a little like, I don't know. Irv always kind of did say some bullshit sometimes when he was really drunk.
If you're gossiping, if you're gossiping,
the J-Lo situation.
If you're being petty, that person has an emotional effect on you still. Plain and simple.
Gossiping, but not just gossiping, because that's not even just gossip in a way.
This is the fact.
Spreading out their rumor.
The opposite of isn't hate, it's indifference. Let's be realistic. If you got hate, you got feelings. It's plain and simple. Indifference is the opposite.
More indifferent the better. Just speak positively. Don't be too much. I mean, look, it's okay to have feelings and not be bitter. You can still have, feelings like not feelings like you just want to, you give a lot of admiration, love for that person, but the feelings are not there. And if I don't know, say this person, that person got together 20 years later and made it work again. Well, shit, who says no? I mean, J-Lo and Ben Affleck did, that's a good case. And we didn't even talk about that. It's not in the topic and direction we're going, but that's something like that. But in this case, the Irv Gotti case, it just seemed like he was more bitter more than anything. And he looks like he didn't go over it. He didn't get over it, and he was in his feelings, and Ashanti. He's always been like that, very emotional, talking about her, being very like vocal. She didn't want to do this and that, and she didn't want to be part of the reunion and all that. You can see it clearly; it was there. And then you can see other artists like Ja Rule, a Mordink artist. He was kind of like trying to be cool and be like, "I still get money with her," so it's his but that's his business, that's his man, so he can't get in the middle. But he told him, trying to hold him down. Oh, don't when he was kind of sleeping a little, like, "Oh, chill, just say it like this, don't call them bitches, just say chicks." Yeah, Irv was getting disrespectful. I was like, damn, some dudes got a really petty mind and ego. I was watching a video with a rapper named Mike Geronimo, and he's like, "Yo, Irv, I could never fuck with you anyway," because he called him a bitch ass. You know what, right? And he said, he's like, "Yo, Irv, I smell you as a sucker from 1,000 feet away. I could never be cool with you." He said, he's like, it wasn't about it. We didn't believe in you, or I believe in you're great, or when he holds you down. He's like, I'm gonna keep it real. He said, your beats were trash. I never liked your beats. He's like, there's like 3 beats I liked, but nothing else was that good. I was like, yo, that's a good comeback. And he's like, keep your name, something about, I'm not gonna handle this again. You like a mosquito, bite that won't go away, bro. He's like, keep my name out your fucking mouth, and we're gonna keep it that way. And I'm not gonna dress you no motherfucking more. He said, I'm done. He's like, I looked out for you, and I can't say you did the same for me. I stick my neck out for you. You never did the same for me, he said, and you curled. I was like, damn, now that's a good comeback. But that's a man-to-man shit. Again, Mike Geronimo, aka Michael McDermott. Very known rapper.
Dude's been watching too many movies with that smelled you when you walked in the room type of line. That's like he's been watching too many movies, man. What you been watching? 4 Brothers? I smelled it on you.
He said I smelled you sucker from 100 feet away, 1,000 feet away. I smelled it on you. Yeah. That's a good reference. That's a good movie. Oh man, remember that line there? Who's about to go to Trump? Huh? You, Charlie?
Yo, for real. Some people, man, they recycle lines. Like, it's hilarious. Like, you can definitely tell, like, what they were, like, thinking, like, or what they were watching, like, when they said some shit. People like to recycle.
It's just how they talk in Queens, to be honest, bro. It's just how they talk in the hood in Queens. They use words like, yo, son, you was never there. You don't got a bone on fucking real estate, you dog. And, they'll, they're just, I don't want to use too much slang because obvious reasons here. But, they talk how they talk, man. Motherfuckers being, getting hit from day one. Fighting for day one. He said that Irv got curled, got bitched out, got slapped around or robbed, or something like that. maybe not these people, but definitely Irvin him. So he was saying that he said, you know, you don't got an ounce of truth to you. He said, you know, you always been a weirdo and soft, and if you're cool and you're tough, it's new to me. But those that don't know, Mike Geronimo used to be managed by Irv Gotti. He's the first to feature DMX, Jay-Z, and Ja Rule in one song, and the Locks as well in another song. So he had a lot of rappers he wanted. He was the hottest thing at one point. Diddy went to sign him. He was really big, and he just didn't want the fame. But I talk to him on IG sometimes, and every now and then we interact a little bit. But it was just so funny because, you know, Irv called him, you know, I mean, you could get called that word. Where he's from? He's from Queens, you know, Southside Queens. That's like a fucking, he gets shot for, he get fucked up, he gets stabbed for that. So, again, Irv Gotti, you know, when his feelings and he starts drinking and see what happens if you drink too much and smoke, he saying stuff that you probably shouldn't be saying. So the whole point being that sometimes people might provoke you or ask those questions to provocatively get you to say something. So you got to be very, you know, okay, let me not do that, you know? That's all.
Gotta be cautious of what you say.
Cautious. And now the big one, and this is a more recent example, and it can tie to a lot of things. The August Alsina situation when, you know, he basically kissed and told on the whole Jada Pinkett Smith situation. I mean, what she did is messed up, but he shouldn't have really done it. They should be more cautious about it. That's how everything, you know, the famous and now infamous Roundhouse Table, you know.
I gotta ask you, have you ever done it?
Smith.
Have you ever been there? Have you ever kissed and told? Gotta be transparent.
I never really kissed and told like in a traditional way of the word. I only kissed and told once or twice, but it was literally like just one guy, and he's a good friend of mine. And you know, about girls that we weren't really dating like this, so it just kind of happened. He knew one of them, one he didn't know. So, but it was like I said, a close friend, and I was about maybe like, you know, I was like in my early 20s, like, you know, around 20, 21, something like that. So, you know, it was different then. But no, actually, I mean, I can't say that I do, bro, because again, if you tell one person, but they don't know that person, for example, it's a different story. They got another person and be in a circle and like friends on Facebook, and you telling too many people. You confiding one friend, like, you know, girls do it too. They'll tell one of their friends or two, you know, especially if they've seen a guy and a girl, different story. It's not kissing and telling. Kissing and telling is strictly when you tell the world, you put it out there. When you tell a guy, the guy tells somebody else and it's a big mouth. If you tell one guy who's quiet, keep a secret, a good source, you got nothing to worry about. But it's better to tell, to be honest, you know, to keep it, you know, a little, you know, private, you know, until maybe like way down the line when, you know, it's like people know and guy talk about, yeah, you know, it's better to kind of say later when they know the person more as opposed to the beginning, because if you kiss and tell too soon, it's also a bad thing. Like a girl won't mind if you kiss and tell at some point when, you know, it's more public they have together, but it's just like when they don't want people to know and just want to keep it private. Again, invasion of privacy, you know, fucking up the privacy, you know, that, you know, and, you know, when you mess it up and kind of give it privacy to it, you know, girls don't like that. Yeah.
It's a good point. Everyone kisses and tells guy talk. So yeah, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. It's definitely true. Here's the thing. I think it gets messy if it depends on like people that like that aren't even really like close friends with you. You're just telling freaking everybody. That's when it becomes different. But obviously, you know, everybody has close friends around them, or like or at least one friend, one close friend, whether it's like a brother or whatever. Like it doesn't. If it's not like a friend, but it's always somebody is like your go-to who you talk to stuff about, and that's the person.
A confidant, a brother, somebody close, right?
Guys,
so
girls, guys.
You can tell exactly. You can tell somebody. You might even have a girl who's a confidant, but you are talking to other girls, you're especially other girls, and you have a friend that tells you, you know, and she might tell you, you know, like, okay, well, I mean, it all depends. I mean, like, you know, most girlfriends that I had were cool, and like I said, your girlfriend could be a confidant in a way, you know, and you might tell her stuff in the past you did, and she might not really judge you for it, but then you're too vulnerable to some people, and they could use it against you if you break up or with some friends, which is why you gotta be very careful. And
well, that's a whole other story.
I don't tell our stories to a lot of people.
That's a whole other story. If somebody's throwing stuff back in your face, that's when shit becomes toxic in a relationship.
It gets toxic and bad. Yeah, I don't tell too much about myself to a lot of people too much. But even if I know it for a while, bro, I take up my time and I pick and choose, and I always, you know, like I'm private about it because nobody needs to know your whole life story and everything you went through. I mean, you know, some things are just more private, only your family or those that were there to witness. If you weren't there, that's not to say you just weren't there. If you were there, you know. If you know, you know. You don't know, you don't know. Simple as that. Moved on. You know what I mean? You know, things could come up. You know, yeah, you can talk about it sometimes. You know, but some things are more private. So it's important to respect the person's privacy, their boundaries, know what they are, and the secret be safe and true. A person can keep a secret, can go a long way. A person can keep a secret, you know, could be considered, you know, very useful, you know, very, you know, it could be, you know, admired, you know, because everybody loves a person that can keep a secret, but no one loves a person with a kiss and tell or somebody that doesn't keep secrets, a gossiper, you know, nobody likes that. So, you know, even with women, bro, a dude that can keep a secret, man, you could get, you know, go a lot farther too, you know, and, you know, I mean, same goes for girls, but guys a lot of times don't care, you know, they'll do what they're going to do, that crazy, you know. Guys on some wolf shit, you know, on some dog shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like the Tiger said, he said, I'm a dog in the song. He said, I'm a dog. Woo. Remember that? Tiger said in the song, man. Tiger makes funny music, man. He's hilarious in his songs.
Facts. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he exaggerates every lyric. He's just one of those guys. He just makes, club music, strip club music.
That's facts, man. Yeah, no, it's I liked it. I like Desiree was real with that shit. Everyone gets into. I go, yes, it's very true. People can cap, people can lie, but straight facts. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people do what they do, man. Again, now why does that happen?
Huh?
No, I heard something in the background. I said, why does that happen now? Well, it's hard to explain. I mean, again, we're not no experts. We're just going to give you guys the perspective we have. It happens a lot of times because it's more like it's almost like a phenomenon. It's almost like part of human behavior. People want like to brag and boast more, especially men. They love to talk. Women do it again, kiss and tell, but in a different way. So it goes on both parties, both sexes. But I mean, it's like younger guys that tend to do it more. I mean, women who are younger might do it, but a lot more like in private to their friend or she might tell her girlfriend, oh, I did this and, slept with this guy, blah, blah, blah. But women will do it different. Guys will do a lot because it's more like, remember, if you bring about what girl you had sex with, who you're with, and who you're dating, a lot of guys, it's more like braggadocious. It comes across more like you're the man. So I'm not going to say it's a guy thing, but guys definitely tend to do it probably more than girls, I would say. I mean, you probably could agree with that. I mean, I've seen it more. Not that girls don't do it, but guys definitely do it a lot more. I mean, come on, dudes in high school bragging about this and that. I could get her. In middle school, they're talking about shit like that. Imagine high school and late high school, and the period after high school, the transition period with college. Everybody was, bragging a little bit. I mean, a lot of guys are. Girls don't like braggers not too much. You got to be a little more, reserved. But that's the thing. Kissing and telling was always big, and I was never a fan of it, but I've seen a lot of guys that did it, and it connects a lot with airing the, dirty laundry and. Kind of like talking about it too much, like exposing it. I mean, nobody needs to know that. Maybe she doesn't want the world to know that. You guys had relationships and had a sexual relationship too. I mean, to each their own. I mean, it's like it's grown folks do what they want to do, but sometimes that's what happens. And it happens a lot in society. We see it all the time, over and over. It's always going on.
Shit, I've seen people lie until they put someone when you're younger, and then it gets back to them. That's a whole
lie and tell, lie and deceive and tell, kiss and lie, lie and kiss, lie and use. Oh yeah, we could go on and on. I mean, there's so many. I mean, but you know what I mean, bro. We gotta select specific ones because honestly, each of them could be kind of an episode in its own. Especially if you keep the episodes a little shorter. Let me see, it's 46. All right, I'll go another 4 minutes, around 50. Then I'll probably give you another the last 5 to 10 minutes. I know. We'll probably. Well, I'm gonna probably leave in about 4. I'm gonna keep her about 3.5 now. You can stay another 5 after me if you want, or 10. It's up to you. I mean, just to make it a little longer, but it's I mean, it's almost I mean, it's just about 7:10 right now. So duty calls, man. So unfortunately, I gotta get going. But
yeah, absolutely.
Somebody wrote it down there. I think it's Desi, maybe somebody else, or Candace or Ro or somebody. People are watching. I think Frank was watching the episode too. Couple people are watching. Frank Fuller. I actually spoke to Frank Fuller.
Yeah, no, it's I wish it would just pop up our names, but unfortunately, some people it's very weird with Facebook. So it says right again. She said that I do agree with George. When you're younger, it's cool. Once you get older, you want someone to take you serious. Yeah, absolutely. You agree. I mean, it's a maturity thing. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you just you want to be the man. You want to sound like this, but it's like as you get older, you start to tend to want something a little bit more, obviously, a little bit of more substance. You want to be serious, and you want to. Honestly, it depends on what your values are. So some people, go their whole life where they never want to get married, they never want to settle down, they just want to live a certain way. But the majority of people, I would say, they want somebody to take them serious, and they eventually, want to settle down and be in a relationship. So that's a good point, and I agree with you too, George. Facts. I used to have the facts board.
Yeah, man.
Facts, and it's like, but I need to download my whole list of things again. Yeah. Put some respect.
The plug, get it? The plug. Put some respect in your name. Now we gotta have one of those facts. The ones that the applause button, like applause. Definitely need applause button because it makes the show cooler.
Stop playing with my fucking name. Stop playing with my name.
Put some respect on my name.
Stop. Some respect my name. Don't stop playing my name. Stop playing my fucking name. Yeah, he was going off on that interview, but yeah, man, definitely got to do a few things. They also got to talk to you a little bit behind the scenes and all that. Let me see. Oh, cool fact of the day. Apparently, I was listening to something on his radio channel earlier, right? When I was taking a ride, get some oil. That global warming is actually apparently is getting even higher. Saying he's one of the all-time highs because everything is like melting more. It's been hotter lately, which is funny because last summer wasn't that hot. I feel like it was hot, but like this summer's been hotter. And yeah, so they're saying something about how it's been cold winters, but it seems like summers have been kind of like more vicious and all that, and it's only gonna get the whole global warming thing is still going on. It's only gonna get hotter. I'm like, I don't know, because last winter wasn't that bad, but the one before that was bad. So it's been opposites. One summer wasn't that hot, one was hot. One winter wasn't that cold, one was cold. So figure I'll share that today. That was a little bit random fact of the day. Anything else you talk about? Yeah, anything else you talk about as far as like the whole relation thing and how things go? Anything else touch on the points? I think we touched on almost everything. I mean, we have a few minutes left.
All I would say is take your partner's feelings into consideration before you air something out. Let's be realistic. It's not cool to air things out that's just between y'all. The thing is, like I said, my takeaway from it is, and this is from my personal experience with me doing it and seeing people do it, it's an ego and it's a pride thing. So, check your pride at the door when you're in a relationship. You know what I mean? You really have to think of that person. I see so many people, they just get into relationships to get into relationships. When you get to be a certain age, when you get into relationships, you should really be able to see yourself, especially if what you're something like that. You should be able to see yourself long term with that person, not just people just get into them and they don't actually really care about the person. A lot of times they're still dealing with.
People just do what they want to do. Yeah, emotional drama or emotional connections with somebody else. Basically,
or a lot of times I would say they enter into it not loving themselves as people. They don't love themselves
in the first place because they get hurt from the previous person. You're right, and then they're this place of doubt. So somebody else comes along and it just becomes like sometimes a sexual thing or just like a sexual relationship or just like maybe like just like a over long, prolonged, kind of friendship.
They get into rebound after rebound after rebound after rebound.
And things get messy. Feelings don't. The person will heal, and in the process, they make the other person not trust them. So things get, and of course, miscommunications. People got, got another person, another girl, another man. They don't talk about it. They act like they're broken up and they're not. And people get out on, people get hurt. People lie a lot of times, and of course, stuff is, And again, sometimes people can't handle that, so what they do is right away they go, "Oh, I want to expose her now." Well. I mean, if you're dirty, bro. If you're fishing too dirty, just go on, bro. Come on, King. Keep it real, champ. Like every time people like this, come on, champ. You can do better than anyway, man. If she fucked up on you, it's a loss. You know what I mean? Yeah, you don't got to do all that, extra. I don't feel, I can say, bro, I never once in my life posted a conversation between me and a girl on any kind of social media platform at all. I posted pictures, and sometimes the girl tell me you can hide the picture with the emoji. Sometimes I didn't want to show the face. Sometimes I did. I don't give a shit. I don't have to lie. People look at my stuff, my stories a lot, so it's all good,
People love airing their shit out on social media.
They do. By the way, if you guys see this is actually just a little special. It's kind of like it's called by Freeze. It's just for my wrist because I actually recently hurt my hand on my wrist. That's why you think of when I watch. People always ask are you promoting this? I'm not promoting it, but it's definitely nice little product. So I just kind of like been icing my hand a little, my wrist, feeling a little better finally. So bro, you get hurt, but guess what? Life continues. Getting hurt, staying home is not gonna pay the bills.
It's not.
You gotta be at the field, bro. You gotta stay active, bro. I'm not.
You gotta make that money, man.
Streets, but I'm active on the ad. You know what I mean? Like I gotta be active in the field. I gotta be out there in the field, bro. I gotta go to work.
Can't miss those
work
work
from
days.
home, working in the office. No, you can't miss work, bro. I mean, you can miss a little, but and today it's kind of like I have to pick up an extra day. Yeah, so you know what I mean? It just just duty calls a little bit. That's all, but. Set something up because we're gonna have another good episode, guys. 95 is gonna be a good one.
5 away from 100. That one's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be a long episode. 100. This one's gonna be
100. Got to be planned really well. And that day we're gonna. We gotta. But we're gonna plan it.
We're already like together. It's gonna be exciting.
Excuse me.
A lot of previous guests on. We're gonna bring them along.
Previous guests on that, and we'll do it long. We can even possibly go close to 2 hours. It's gonna be a very long one, So, but so I mean, I think I'm good to go, bro. Let me see. I want to stay. I'm gonna stick around like 2 minutes or something, 2-3 minutes. So, anyway,
we'll just wrap up, guys. Guys, it was a good topic tonight. For anybody who is coming after the fact, guys, you have about an hour. I'm gonna close this out at 8:15, guys. You have a chance to still win some merch, cast. If you have not already, follow us on Instagram, like the post to the giveaway, tag 2 people. You can win a commuter mug, you can win a bucket hat, a beach towel.
Yep.
All Locked In Podcast merch. It's free. You don't have to do anything. We just pick at random. We have a system where we just pick at random. So there's not that many people, honestly, that have commented. So, I mean, you really have a good chance if you want gear. And what's the famous saying? If it's free, it's for me. well, you have a chance at some free stuff. Free's always good. So
right.
guys, for us, so it's all love. You know what I mean? Because we always support. Whether you've been supporting us shortly, you've been supporting us since the midway point, you've been supporting us as an OG from the beginning. I appreciate it, and that's just our little giveaway for y'all. So it's been extended a long time because we haven't really had a chance to get to it, but lucky for y'all. You want some free gear? 8:15. I'm putting it down. So get in there and follow the instructions if you want some free stuff.
Yeah.
Around Christmas, we did the giveaways. Everybody got gift cards. We did Target, Starbucks, Dunkin', and what else? Wawa. So we gave gift cards away around Christmas time. I think we gave like $50 to $75 worth of gift cards away. So this is merchandise. So this is publicity for us. So comment. You're muted, brother.
We're probably gonna do some more giveaways. We'll do this like once or twice a year, something like that, guys. But definitely be on the lookout and always kind of just follow directions, tag the right people. Somebody had done it on IG, but it was different. I think they tagged 2 people, not 3. So just tag 3.
Yeah, I mean 2, 3 people, whatever. I'm not gonna penalize you for tagging 3 people, but
right. We're not petty like that, man. Just follow directions, guys. We'll bring you guys some more stuff. I mean, we're definitely looking for some giveaways because definitely the engagement helps with the the growth of the podcast and all that. And yeah, me and Stevie do some meetings. Steve, I told you about it. We'll do like our monthly meeting. We'll do some behind the scenes stuff, but trying to actually bring some good stuff to you guys, some good content. You know what I mean? So be on the lookout. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna discuss a lot of things, guys. It's 2022 is still still a long year, but I mean the summer's winding down, guys, slowly. Before it'll be fall. You know what I mean? The year goes by quick after that. So I mean, it's like 2022, but we're always on the lookout for the rest of the year for the fall. I mean, possibly, we'll see about your birthday, Steve. It's your 30th birthday in the fall, so obviously it's gonna be a big deal. And some big stuff for next year, guys. We definitely want to get more, become a little bigger podcast and grow. And when you have something grow, well, you got to do a lot. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm actually good on my side, Steve. I'm gonna probably dip out, you know what I mean, or just on balance, bro, because I do gotta go to work and shit. But it's been a great one. If you want to finish up a little longer, it's fine. I do want to give a shout out to our boy, the man Lee, from coming in last week, right? Was it last week?
Yeah. That's a good point because I was gonna do the same thing. Matt's the man. Matt. My God, Matt.
Definitely good stuff, Matt. We appreciate you so much for coming. It was a great episode, by the way.
Absolutely.
A very much viewed one.
Yeah, I'll stay on and put some talking points for about 2 minutes as you go off. I don't want to keep you held up, man, because I know you got business to attend to, man. So without further ado, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate being here, dude. I mean, like I said, I was able to kind of I got in on my phone, guys. It's a little different today, but everything worked out good. Very good episode. Unbelievably, insertive and informative. You know what I mean? We touched some good points. We made some clear points and, discussions, and, nothing, I mean, whatever we were saying, guys, it's not like, we're just kind of like talking or these are not just, assumptions, declarations, and, just us, making big, bold statements. This is, what we see, what we do. And as you can see, a lot of people are agreeing with us and we like the perspective so we can kind of, engage a little bit of comments on our page here or, sorry, on his live stream. So, yeah, it was good stuff. We'll probably, this is another one that could be another topic longer, but we'll maybe do another part, and we'll definitely look out for the after dark points. The after dark episode coming up. That's gonna be another good one. And this has been number 94. I'm gonna go ahead and go. You might stay a little longer, Steve, but guys, enjoy the weekend. Good to be here. My partner here in crime, Steve Ushler. Yo, bro, it's definitely a good one. I'm GMAC, and always remember, guys, just keep watching us, keep following us, and we're throwing guys invites there, so trying to get you to go in the group, and you can always watch us on YouTube and on Facebook, like I stated on the podcast page.
Absolutely. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. We'll be in touch, but have a great night, man, and be safe. All right.
Thank you, bro. You too, man. All right. So later, guys.
Salute.
Peace.
All right, guys. So I'm just gonna wrap up for the last 2 minutes here, as George just kind of deploys. So just closing comments. Hope you guys like the content tonight. Ultimately talk. Well, number one, as George was saying, give a shout out to my boy Matt Lee. Matt, if you're watching, appreciate you, man. for coming on. You really dropped some gems last week, and I thought that it was really, really valuable to a lot of people that were watching. Had a lot of people, messaging me, saying, great content. I know a couple people I know were following you too as a result of the episode, so it's mutually beneficial. So appreciate it, man. Want to thank George for coming on and making the time, and I know he's got a busy schedule tonight, so he's got to go to work. So appreciate him coming on. Ultimately, just some comment episodes kind of leading into 100. We've got some really good content planned for you guys. We're going to have a real estate investor episode where a couple people we know are going to come in. They're going to talk about the different types of real estate investing, whether it be, flipping houses, real estate wholesaling, long-term tenant properties. It's going to be exciting. There's another one we're going to be doing where we're going to be breaking down LLCs, S corps, the tax advantages. I know some things from personally my level of it, but I also know a couple professionals, that work in the tax professionals that can come on and break down the tax advantages. LLC is a limited liability company. It's a word that gets thrown around a lot. So that's going to be very beneficial, especially if you're looking to start your own business. For that one, as George said, we're going to be having an after hours episode coming up. It's going to be a very interesting topic. I think what we're going to go with is from people have been asking. Cheating, that's a controversial topic. So that's going to be a very, very raunchy topic for sure. That's why we want to throw that into the after hours episode. We want to try to get a nice mix of female and male guests on so we can have a good conversation. I could see that one going an hour and a half to 2 hours, to be honest, because it'll probably be a long conversation. And episodes coming up as well. It's going to be exciting. So I do want to make an announcement that a former Philadelphia Eagle, and if you guys have watched before, you guys know who he is. I think he might be coming back in time for Eagles football season. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was on the podcast, I think, back around December, November. So that's exciting as well. So we'll leave that for when football season kind of comes around. But always exciting to have a former Philadelphia Eagle come on the podcast. And he was a great guest last time. Really, dude. So I'm excited for that as well. But I'm not going to throw any names for guests that are coming on. I like to kind of keep that under wraps. But obviously, if you've seen the previous episodes of who the football player was. Great stuff coming up in the pipeline, and just wanted to make that announcement. And also, like I said, 8:15, guys. I'm giving you 8:15. If you have not followed the instructions for the contest, you want free stuff, go ahead Instagram page, the _locked_in_podcast. You can find it in the link tree link below. Click. It gives you access to all of our platforms. Go to Instagram, follow the instructions, literally, and you can get some free stuff. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. The second episode into August. It's crazy the summer's flying by, but at this point, we're 5 or 6 episodes away from 100. So I'm excited for what the podcast, what the direction we're going, improvements to the website, different types of stuff. I would just appreciate you guys. So, guys, anyone who commented in tonight, anybody who's watching, but if you're watching after this broadcast, you're watching later, we always appreciate you. We always appreciate the support. Like I always like to say, it's 2022, so just be true and be you, be yourself, and also, focus on you. Others will too. Plain and simple. Guys, with that being said, have a great weekend. Have a great night. We'll be announcing our winner shortly for the podcast giveaway on Instagram. So, without further ado, guys, have a great night. Great weekend. We'll see you back next week. 95. Later.